I trust you three to continue on and fix this dream. But you don't have much time. You have to hurry.
All right. Stop hurrying us. Stop rushing. We'll go on our merry way.
Okay, well, I trust that if I leave Bubbles and Captain Crackerjack in charge, that things will get done. So, Bubbles?
All right, let's march.
And then she just kind of like poofs.
The lady has disappeared.
Elves.
Don't worry, you get used to it after years in Santa's sleigh.
But it smells like peppermint. And there's like a hint of like peppermint-looking confetti in the air.
Pleasant, but I'm more of a spearmint man myself.
Can we just get going?
Yes, of course.
As you travel, you find some items that you didn't have already on you. Okay? So, Captain Crackerjack, you find a flask. How do you want it to look?
Quite dignified and probably a nice silver with a gold cap on it.
Okay, so you have a silver flask, and it's got Santa's face stamped into the side with a gold cap. Okay, and you find that attached to your side. And then Bubbles, you all of a sudden have a like sticky feeling in between one of your wings.
What is this? Is this one of Santa's marshmallows from his hot cocoa? I will treasure it.
And then, Scarlet, you find that you have a couple things. Around your neck, you have this little necklace made out of popcorn kernels. They're not popped. But you have this necklace around your neck of popcorn kernels. And you find on your side, you also have a sword that kind of looks like an icicle. It's not melting. But that's what you find as you start going towards this castle.
I'm just gonna pull out this icicle and be like, what is this? And like inspect it and like try and melt it and like like try and make it hot, but it's not. And she'll get frustrated that it's not hot.
Scarlet, are you trying to melt your weapon there?
Well, obviously it's the wrong weapon. It's ice. I hate ice.
On the base of the icicle sword, you see property of ivory.
No. My arch nemesis. Ha ha ha. I'm going to corrupt this sword if it's the last thing that I do. And she just has this like wicked grin.
Someone looking to be on Santa's naughty list.
Oh, honey, I was on his naughty list long before you were ever created.
And during that conversation, Crackerjack starts like his little wooden mouthpiece starts like clacking a little bit with a little anxiety at hearing this conversation.
So as you travel along, you're passing, different things. You've left the field. There are some trees kind of scattered around. But the trees almost look like pretzels. Right? And they look like they would have cotton candy on the ends, to make the leaves. It's very airy. And you continue on, and it's still kind of this just dark, bleak, kind of scarily quiet place where you feel like something is missing, something, there should be a little bit more life to it. So, this castle, it looks kind of like a gingerbread house, but it's a castle. And same as the land around you, it's just this kind of dull color, whereas it should be this vibrant, think like Wizard of Oz color.
So we're in Kansas then.
Yeah, essentially.
Right.
Yeah. You see these sugar plums, and they look kind of like zombies with like crazy eyes. And they're like marching around, and they're like, must scare kids, no resting, scare kids. If you want a picture of what this is what they look like.
Oh my.
So you just see there's like one or two of them around, and they're both just walking back and forth, kind of like guarding the door to the castle. Back and forth, and that's all they're saying is, must scare kids, no rest, protect castle. Just over and over and over and over again. And they don't seem to notice you yet. What is your route?
Well, the first thing that Cracker Jack is going to do is he's going to take a swig from his new flask, and it tastes the warm cocoa that dwells within it, and the spirits seem to raise a little bit at the thought, and he's like, for liquid courage, and he puts it back.
Okay, so your character gets +1 to your Christmas spirit.
Bubbles is gonna look at the sugar plums, and just immediately a look of disgust comes on his face. He says, "Those fiends! How dare they go after the children? Take this!"
Okay,
and he's gonna
let's
grab his
go
mushroom and
ahead
just chuck it at the closest
and
one.
roll for initiative. Okay, so everybody is going to roll a d6. Okay, did anybody get a 6?
I did.
Okay. Did anybody get... Okay, did anybody get a 5?
Look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants Rich McGee over there.
Brandon, what did you get? Oh, nice.
Oh, 1.
Staying true to his nature.
Nat 1, nerds!
I got a 4.
Okay, so Brandon, before your marshmallow can make contact, you get to go.
Seeing my fellow compatriot, Bubbles the Duck, start to spring into action, Captain Crackerjack will also do so. He will go ahead and use one Christmas spirit to use one of his abilities, causing a foe's next roll to be unlucky.
Okay.
And Captain Crackerjack will do so by yelling at the sugar plums, "You're only so sour because you're so rotten on the inside, worthless fruit."
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, I had to get my vicious mockery in there.
Next up is Scarlet.
Sure, I will try and attack one of the
Sugar plums.
with the ice sword.
So use your attack dice. And
So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's just the +1 from the sword, or is it also...
You normally get 2 attack dice, now you get 3.
Okay, that makes sense. Alright, I will roll my attack.
because you're a tinker, right?
Yeah, I'm a tinker, so I have 2A, 2B.
So you would add +1 to your A.
Okay,
So you would have 3A.
so I've rolled them. And I got a 6, a 5, and a 1.
Okay, well, I rolled a 5. So the other 2 don't count because I don't.
You don't have them, so the 6 takes out the 5, though.
Yes, so you would do 1 point of damage to one of the sugar plums. Okay, is there anything else you want to do?
No. Also, she tries to infuse heat when she uses it, and it doesn't work because, it's an ice sword.
Okay.
People get frustrated.
It is now the sugar plums turns. One of the sugar plums is really kind of annoyed that it has been made fun of. It is going to turn to you, Crackerjack. And it is going to use its ability called Untamed Visions. And actually, the difference between your guys's and mine is I have a recharge, so I don't have Christmas spirit. So I can use my ability. I have to roll to recharge it. This is what happens to you. The sugar plum, and I'm going to read it from the book. The sugar plum dances in a manner so distracting that its target perceives multiple copies of it. All attacks against the sugar plum from the target, so you, are unlucky for 3 turns.
Oh, I don't roll to defend against that, it just happens?
It just happens.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess we'll just cancel each other out, or one of them is supposed to have unlucky on their next roll. So.
I'll let that stick to the other one, though. Because there's 2.
Ah.
Okay? So the other one that's been hit by this icicle sword is going to come towards Scarlet. And you just see him tuck his little, Twizzler arms, right? In. And his legs in. And he's going to roll towards you, Afton, and try and knock you off your feet. So I'm going to use an attack dice. But I'm unlucky, so I will have to re-roll. But you can use as many defense dice as you want. You can't get more unlucky than that. Just in case. Yeah. Alright, Afton.
That worked out really nice. I didn't even need to do that. Well.
I got a 2 and a 2.
That is so fortunate.
So, Afton, the sugar plum tries to come at you. But it's shaking because it's a little frozen. And as it rolls towards you, it ends up tilting to the side because it's shivering just a little.
So it barely misses?
Yeah.
Because Savannah rolled a 1.
We are the Nat 1 nerds.
With that, it is now Bubbles' turn. So Bubbles, if you want to continue throwing your marshmallow, you're more than welcome to.
So I am curious, it doesn't say anywhere that throwing the marshmallow uses an attack or anything, so how does that work? Would that just take my turn to throw it?
With this one, I don't think there's necessarily at least how we're gonna play it is if you want to use an ability, the ability might take your whole turn, but if you just attack and then you want to use an ability, I'll allow that.
Okay.
Just because it's not super clear on that.
Okay, because it's technically not an ability, it's just my item. But if you want that to be my turn, then yeah, I can just throw the marshmallow.
Actually, hang on, give me 1 second.
Well, I think if you're using your item, it's kind of like when Afton used her icicle sword. She is part of her attack, so it's just kind of...
Yeah, the icicle sword specifically says it augments an attack. This one is just, you can throw it and it has an effect.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so all this says is you can use your turn to take any one action. Most often this will take the form of an ability, the use of a gift, running away, although unwritten actions are allowable at the discretion of the
Okay, using a gift. Yeah, that would be my action.
So, okay.
So yeah, I threw the marshmallow.
Which one are you throwing it at? Because there is 2.
I'm going to throw it at the one that Crackerjack insulted.
Okay.
So they have to roll a die. If they roll a 5 or a 6, they lose their next turn while they voraciously consume the marshmallow.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, okay. So the marshmallow kind of like hits the sugar plum and just bounces off, and he just doesn't notice.
Okay. So we're back to Captain Crackerjack.
Ah, you rotten fruit? Did they just multiply? And he's gonna be kind of confused, so he's just gonna go in for an attack.
To the one that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to hit it. I'm just gonna go for the one that appears in my mind the most solid and just.
Okay.
Oh.
So you have to re-roll your highest.
Dang it. Dang it. I got 2 3s.
I rolled a 3, so it cancels.
I go for one of the mirage ones. That's not actually the...
Just like...
Yeah. And the whole time he's like, essentially like clicking with his mouth nervously, like... da-da-da-da-da-da.
And then we are to Scarlet.
So she's just gonna take the ice sword and try again with like more emphasis to use the sword with like heat instead of, ice. At the one that was gonna hit her that like missed. That she hit before. The little like icy tipsy one. Alright, I got a 6, a 5, and a 3.
Awesome. I rolled a 1. So you hit this thing and it just like freezes as like the statue form and stops moving. So there is 1 sugar plum left. According to the book, it's a deranged sugar plum. So it is now my turn. And the deranged sugar plum is going to oh, actually, I need to roll to see if my ability recharges. Actually, no, because I used it on that one, not this one. So, Brandon, Bubbles, this deranged sugar plum is going to look at you and also do its untamed visions.
All right.
All attacks against the sugar plum coming from you are unlucky for the next 3 turns.
Sounds good.
Okay. And that will be the sugar plum's turn. So, Brandon, it's actually your turn.
All right. I'm going to look at the sugar plum that did the funky dance. Just going to kind of shake my head and be like, I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to look at this guy, and I'm going to turn the other sugar plum, and I'm going to try to slap him in the back of the head with my wing.
You realize there's only 1, right?
Wait, she killed one? Oh, never mind. I'll hit it.
That
Okay, I have to reroll my highest one. That was a 6. Oh, okay. I got a 5, a 4, and a 3.
Was that with an unlucky?
Yeah, I rerolled a 6 into a 5.
Okay.
Nice.
And I rolled a 3. So this sugar plum completely like explodes, and the nasty sugar plum guts get all over you guys.
It seems that these were more rotten than I expected.
But what you do see is the frozen sugar plum actually starts to melt a little bit and change back into a vibrant purple color. The sugar plum will look to you guys and will just say, "Thank you, was stuck. So tired." And she'll point to the castle. "In there, children stuck. Must rest." And then the sugar plum will just go and like sit up against the wall of this castle.
Bubbles is going to shake some sugar plum off his wing and be like, sorry about your friend.
And the sugar plum will say, "No worries. Go. And like closes that.
We have confirmation that the children are inside. We must proceed, and Crackerjack will start going quickly into the castle.
So when you enter again, it's more of the same, just the dull colored stuff. And that when you leave the sugar plum outside, you leave the color outside. And it's even like kind of dulled your guys' colors. Like, Captain Crackerjack, you're this like vibrant red, and it's more just like dull. Kind of like a boring color.
Like still red, but just
It's still
dull.
red, yeah. So once you enter, you're obviously in kind of this like castle, right? So you enter the great room of this gingerbread candy castle. You see a nice couch made out of graham crackers and frosting, right? You see along another wall, you see a bookshelf made out of Oreos that are stacked. You see a fireplace that's got a fire in it, but it's not warm. And the fire itself is also not vibrant. It's just there, almost. Like, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't give off heat. Nothing. But you don't hear anything. You enter and it's silent. So you have a room off to your right, and you have stairs going up. Those are your only options of where to go from this room.
My friends, I suggest we proceed further into the castle up the stairs. When the children would get a hold of me and use me for their pretend games, they always had the captive high up in the towers. But what say you?
I'd say this fire is broken, and I'm gonna go over and try and fix it.
How?
How?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. Can I try taking a kernel off of my necklace and being like, well, this is useless, and throwing it in there and seeing if like that'll do anything?
It doesn't.
She's gonna look around the room and see if there's actually anything that she could use to try and burn and make her own fire inside of the fire.
You don't find anything that you think would work.
Fine, I guess.
All of a sudden, just all of you hear this echo.
was
Did
that?
you all hear that?
How could you not hear that?
And it like echoes.
So like we can't tell where it's coming from. It's just so echoey type thing, or
Yeah.
do we have like any rough idea?
You can kind of rough, but it echoes a lot too.
Where do we think it might be originating from? Like if
Can I
we
look
had
at
to guess.
perception check?
What did you say, Brandon?
I said, can I make a perception check?
No, I'll say with Captain Crackerjack's knowledge, like you said with the kids, you can kind of guess it's coming from forward, not from the side of you.
Okay.
So it would take you up the candy stairs.
Bubbles, I believe that may be all the more reason to proceed further up and further in.
Well, then let's not dally.
And with Bubbles probably at my side, we'll go forward, kind of like Aragorn and Legolas running. Kind of like Legolas, Crackerjack will turn back and be like, "Come, Scarlet, we're gaining on them."
Bubbles is just gonna grab Scarlet's hand as he starts running.
You just hear quack, 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 quack.
Can you reach Scarlet's hand?
I'm gonna run over, grab her hand, and then start running.
Oh my gosh, let go! And she's gonna get mad at it and like try and yank her hand out of your, what is it, a feather?
My wing.
Wing? She's just gonna be like, let go of me!
Then you hear it again. You hear. Echo, echo, echo.
Captain Crackerjack is not waiting. He is going as fast as his little wooden legs can go. Wait, actually, I have a question. Game Master.
Yes.
Am I still stuck to the pedestal?
No.
Okay, so I can move my
Yes.
legs as if. Okay.
I pictured you coming off your pedestal.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Just hopping, kind of like the. Okay.
No, you have.
Okay,
Right,
so
your motion.
even more wooden clicks.
Yeah, as you like climb up the stairs.
Yep, I'm going.
Beside him, Captain Crackerjack hears the heroic sound of whack, 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 whack.
And then you hear squeak as it hops the step. Squeak.
Does Bubbles let go of Scarlet's hand at all?
Not if he can help it.
She's trying with all of her might to get this freaking duck to let go of her, and she's getting so mad that it's not working. To the point where, let's just say when you get to the top of the stairs, there's steam coming out of her ears.
Okay, and then as you reach the top of the stairs, you come to like this hallway, right? And it looks like it should be kind of a grand hallway. There's like frosting decoration along the side and like a nice big window that looks out on this kingdom. But drapes are pulled and everything is oddly quiet besides the occasional like mad sound that you hear coming. And then you hear some grumbling. But down this hallway, you kind of have it's a very simple hallway. You have 3 bedrooms. You can go straight, you can go left, or you can go right. Again, it's absolutely silent. And there's not really any light, so you can't see a ton when you get up there. Are you guys just waiting for somebody to make another sound, or?
I mean, how many directions could we go?
You can go left, you can go right, and you can go straight. There are three doors.
I would probably wait till another sound came and try to guess which door to go through.
Does the duck let go of Scarlet?
At this point, yeah, we're at the top of the stairs.
So I was gonna say if the duck didn't, I was gonna attack it.
Excuse me, I'm not the duck. I am Bubbles.
The duck.
Okay.
If you guys are waiting, all of a sudden, and you hear it, whoa! And then it echoes. So it's kind of hard to pick up from which door.
Bubbles is going to charge forward and throw open the door to the right.
Okay. In the door, the room is dark, except for a skylight. And it shines on something you didn't actually think you would find in this castle. It looks like... What's the word? It looks like a loaf. And it kind of looks cranky and really quite chunky. And it hears you open the door. And all of a sudden, it just starts charging towards you. Do you stand and attack it, or do you slam the door closed?
Bubbles is just kind of gonna bumble a little bit, be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just slam the door closed.
And then you hear it quiet.
So with that, Captain Crackerjack will open the next door in the center.
Okay, so that door actually opens.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to part 2 of our 2024 holiday actual play, Twas the Nightmare Before Christmas, a Rooftops and Reindeers TTRPG system, with Savannah as the Game Master, Parker as Captain Crackerjack, Brandon as Bubbles the Duck, and Afton as Scarlet. Rooftops and Reindeers was created by Evan Weston, which you can find on drivethrurpg.com. Please go check that out and support the creator. You can find Nat1 Nerds on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. So be sure to follow us on those social media platforms to get updated news on when episodes are released, TTRPG topics, and things you would like us to discuss on the podcast. Until part 3 and the final installment of this actual play, happy rolling.